Ethics, the golden rules. If we consider the financial crises in recent decades and of the bankruptcies of many major firms, it's clear that ethical failures and offenses are generally major contributors to both. These failures and offenses cost businesses, investors, consumers, and the government billions of dollars in losses. What are ethics, and why are they so problematic? There are a number of different definitions of ethics. They can be considered as singular as plural, as a system of moral principles. They can be considered as a branch of philosophy. However, in this class, the definition we'll be using is a simple one. Ethics are rules or standards governing human conduct. These rules don't need to include any moral component. They just are rules that govern our conduct. Sometimes we also call them regulations or laws. Ethics defined in this way can have an entirely positive meaning as opposed to a normative one. That is, the effects of a particular ethic can be quantitatively measured. An ethic defined in this way can be used for predictive purposes, and the value of a particular ethic can be measured using cost-benefit analysis. In recent years, ethics, particularly rules, regulations, and operational specifications, are commonly portrayed as barriers which limit our actions, our freedoms and creativity, and the productivity and profitability of the marketplace. However, ethics aren't just rules which limit our actions, they're actually enable us to interact in ways which wouldn't be possible without them. Calling rules of a game ethics may seem a trivial use of the term. However, they are rules governing human behavior in that particular arena, and needless to say, many people over the years have been injured or killed because they broke the rules of a game. Thousands of different card games can be played with the same deck of cards. When we say poker, rummy, or hearts, we aren't speaking of the cards themselves. Rather, we're specifying which set of rules to be used with those cards. The rules don't just limit how the game can be played, it's the rules which actually create the game in the first place. It wouldn't be possible to play a game like basketball or poker without the rules which create it. If we had a ball in a net, we could throw it or bounce it off or try to throw it into a net, but it's the set of rules which defines the game of basketball. The rules do state limitations on how the ball can be moved and on how players can interact with each other. However, once again, the rules actually create the game and allow basketball to be the exciting game that it is. They don't even need to appear to be logical or rational rules. They just need to work. In other words, the marginal benefit of any specific ethic needs to be equal to or greater than its marginal cost. Basketball players can't run with a ball. They have to bounce it or dribble it as they move. Golfers can't throw or kick the ball or hit it with a baseball bat. Instead, they have to use that stupid little club. Those rules may seem silly, but they make the games challenging to play and fun to watch. Competitive free markets are similar to competitive games. We could have simple trades of goods between individuals, perhaps that were friends, without systems of ethics. However, markets in which many people produce and sell goods to others, and in which we buy goods from strangers, can only exist if clear-cut rules, in other words, market ethics, are spelled out and are followed. Only when people understand and trust market ethics will people be willing to buy or sell in a free market. This is especially important because participation in markets, whether as a supplier or a consumer, is voluntary. For the players in any market, whether as suppliers or consumers, market activities provide opportunities and risks, benefits and costs. We can assume that the goals of any rational participants are to maximize benefits while minimizing costs. In other words, all participants will be trying to maximize their economic surplus. We can measure whether any specific ethic increases or decreases total economic surplus. Each market's participant can measure whether a particular rule or a market as a whole is beneficial to them. Since market participation is voluntary, we can vary our responses depending on how we interpret the rules of the game. Markets need sellers and buyers, borrowers and lenders. If market rules become too imbalanced, some participants will withdraw and the market itself will lose value. Just as participants in any market compete with each other, different markets also compete with each other. If the dysfunction of any market is great enough, the market can lose all of its value and cease to exist. A few common market ethics are that participation is voluntary, that contracts, once agreed to, must be obeyed, that all contractual terms must be specified, in other words, out in the open, truth in advertising, products must not be, at least not unintentionally, harmful, warranties, guarantees, and procedures for buyer's remorse must be specified, and terms of delivery and payment must also be specified. We can go shopping even in a city or a store where we've never been before and confidently focus on what we want to buy and its price. We can sell to or buy from other people through the internet with confidence. Markets can generally do a good job of maximizing the economic surplus of participants. On the other hand, if we go somewhere where market ethics are different, such as another country where prices aren't posted and where different prices may be charged to different people for the same items, we may find it confusing because we don't understand the local rules. Why not just make up our own rules, ones that we like better? Because markets, like games, are voluntary, interactive activities. Participation and satisfaction depend on all parties understanding and agreeing the rules, as well as following the rules they've agreed to. Participation indicates an understanding and an acceptance of those stated rules. Participation in any market, whether as a seller or a buyer, implies a contractual agreement with the other market participants. See implied acceptance in the key terms. If we want to change the regular rules, we and those we are playing with must renegotiate them and agree to the changes. One of the primary roles of any government is to protect the well-being of its citizens and its economy. To enhance the health and productivity of its markets, governments must specify many market rules and regulations, not all of them, but generally the most important ones. These are market ethics designed to enhance the markets, not specific market participants. Needless to say, individuals and groups of all kinds also create ethics. Some of these are verbal and informal, others are written in great detail. We'll look at more of those rules and ethics in Part 2 and also consider what happens when people cheat or don't follow the rule. See you there.